Hey y'all, Farmer Dre back at it. We're out here in the high tunnels, and today we are cleaning up high tunnel number 1, and we're gonna get it ready to plant our cover crop. So we pulled up all the plants, I pulled up all of the T-posts, and I just had Isaac. He's home from school today. He doesn't go to school on Mondays. Nice thing about going to a small school here in the Midwest, Mondays they don't go to school, so I put Isaac to work every single Monday. He loves it. He keeps telling me that he's more tired working at home than he is going to school, and I was like, yeah, well, it's part of life, buddy. Hard work is good for you, nice and healthy for you. But anyways, I had him. He came through here and took off all the boards and stuff off the edges. So if you guys remember, way back 3 years ago when we put this in, I had just a piece of wood, the screw, and put that down, and I'm gonna go ahead and take this off. And technically this landscaping fabric is good for many years, but whenever we first bought this one, I didn't know they made a bigger one. So these are 12 feet wide, and this next spring I think I'm gonna buy a 15-footer. So the tunnels are 30 foot, so if I buy a 15-footer, then just do 2 pieces instead of 3 pieces. And in the spring I have a hard time with the thing flapping in the wind and destroying some of the plants there. So I think I'm going to do that. We're going to go ahead and we're going to keep this one, put it in the storage, but we're not going to use it next year. I don't think. We'll see. That's just the plan. But I want to take everything out of here and come through here and rotor till this pretty quick. So all we got to do now is roll it up, make sure all the mess and stuff with the residue stays in there. I don't want any of this residue in the staying on top of the soil here, because if there's any residue with disease or anything, I don't want it to transfer into another year. And the cover crop that I am going to plant in here, I'm going to be planting annual ryegrass, just because it grows really nice during the winter months. If it stays nice and warm, it grows really fast, kind of like the strawberries. And I'm just putting it in to have some actively growing to build some organic matter and just kind of like a green manure. And then we're going to incorporate it and then plant. Once we till it up again, we're going to go ahead and plant through it. So yeah, that's the plan, that's the idea. Alrighty, so I'm turning on the water. It was just way too dusty in here. The ground is dry. I haven't irrigated here in a while. I actually irrigated to pull out the post. I just let the soil get moistened over there next to the drip tape. I didn't let it run for too long. And I'm just gonna let that area, the sprinkler here work, overhead sprinkler, for 1 or 2 hours, just so we can get that soil wet. So whenever I come through and rototill, I won't be covered in dust. You guys saw, I just started over there and it was a mess. By the time this thing waters, I had to come maybe through here. And I'm not sure, I need the hydraulic ladder home to cut all these off nicely. But yeah, I'm gonna let this soak in the ground a little bit, get that soil nice and moist before I till it again, just because nobody wants to get all dusty and full of dust for no reason. So if we have the water, I'm in no rush to plant this. Whenever we rototill it, I gotta go buy the seed and then just broadcast seed. I'll turn on the water over time. So it's middle of October now, so by the time November, December comes around, the grass will germinate and grow nicely. And annual ryegrass grows pretty good, pretty fast, and that's why I chose to plant that in here. So anyways, let that soak in here real quick and come back here about an hour or so and hopefully till it then. So there you go, soil's nice, worked up now. Like I mentioned, I gotta go get that cover crop, seeds, broadcast them, let it start growing. The benefit of having a cover crop, first of all, especially with the ryegrass, is to first of all grow as much forage as possible. Then we're going to incorporate in the soil. and let it decompose and treat it like a green manure. That's what it is. And then you know, just having some actively growing is much more healthier for the soil than just let it bear like this all winter long. First year I ever did high tunnel tomatoes, I didn't plant anything in the soil, and then the over the winter months it was so dry, the soil was super dry in the spring, and we were ready to plant. I didn't really know what I was doing, so you know, now it's gonna be a whole lot better if we do plant. If you guys remember last year I planted those daikon radish. That was just too late in the season. I planted them way too thick, so those daikons didn't do any good, didn't penetrate too deep. With daikon radish here in Southwest Missouri, if you want them to be nice and big, especially this time of year, where they get down deep in the soil, you gotta plant those probably the first to second week of September, and then you get that foliage growing, then you get that root system penetrating down deep. Or you plant them this time of year for next spring, so that over the winter they develop the root system in early spring. They'll continue growing and, you know, penetrate that deep system. But in the high tunnels here, I'm gonna try ryegrass, see how that turns out, and then of course we're gonna kill it off and get it ready for get it ready for tomatoes 2022. So out here in number 2, I gotta come to here maybe tomorrow and plant those different crops that we want to plant just for ourselves, just for some, you know, some beets, some radishes, some lettuce, kale. We got some spinach, just some winter stuff that doesn't require much maintenance. Just have some growing in there just for us to eat and can, and just to live off of. We have the tunnels anyways, so why not? If I wasn't doing that, this would have been going into ryegrass as well. And then of course here in number 3, I'm going, we're still harvesting tomatoes. We haven't got our frost yet, so they're still coming on strong. If you guys watch my previous videos, you guys know that we've been picking out of here. I mean, look at this beauty right here. Let me just show you guys what we're still picking out of here. Look at that, beautiful farm fresh tomatoes are still coming on good out in here. So once it frosts in here, we're gonna go ahead and tear everything out, you know, compost the plants, clean all the T-posts, and of course we're gonna plant. If it's not too late in the season, we might plant something in here as well. But you know, in these tunnels, we gotta, you know, keep something actively growing for the soil health, for the benefit of the soil, and of course just to build that organic matter over time. So yeah, that's what's going on here with the tunnels. We actually got ahead and make cider. We got a few orders to do this week, and we got a precedent for the farmers market. But slowly and surely, we're getting all caught up with our fall cleanup here on the farm. One thing we got to do here yet is come through here and pull up all this plastic and you know, get this ready for next year. This here next year will be all into zinnias. Majority of the field here, it's about I don't know, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 high tunnels worth. So 5 times 2,800, let's say 3,000, about 15,000 square foot, I guess, of flowers. That's the plan to plant in here. And if we do flowers, zinnias are one of those crops where if you plant them, they flower all summer long if you keep the plants healthy. So I think we're gonna go ahead and get just big old massive pieces of landscaping fabric and plant through that with drip tape. I'm not sure. We're still thinking. We haven't yet, you know, done that, but I think we're gonna start them in the seeds, you know, in the greenhouse as plugs, and then we will transplant out here. But that's just an idea. We'll see. We're not sure yet, but we still got a lot of fall cleanup to do here yet, but slowly getting there, just one day at a time, one project at a time, and knock it out of the way. So yeah, we're not extremely busy. We still got a lot of cleanup work and stuff to do. But during the summer, once we're busy harvesting, picking, going to markets, this time of year we're done with all the week markets. The only farmers markets we're doing is Saturdays. Of course, the farm stores open 6 days a week as well. But this time of year, everything is starting to slow down. It's not as crazy busy and as hectic as it is during the summer months. But we still got a lot of things to do. Of course, we got to plan and, you know, make decisions for next year. Order stuff, place our orders for, you know, fertilizers, chemicals, all kinds of, you know, stuff we need. And if you guys have been following and know, the prices of everything are through the roof now. So we'll see where it takes, you know, takes us from here. But where I'm going to go ahead and end off the video. If you guys haven't already, hit that subscribe button, smash that like button if you guys enjoyed today's video. Don't forget, hit that notification icon so you guys can be notified whenever I do upload a video. I want to say thanks for watching up to this point. Y'all have a good day. We will see you next time.